So thank you very much for inviting me to be a part of this Chinese Meet the Editors. For me, it's a great pleasure to be here. The Regional Studies Association, when I joined it in December 1986, had just one journal, Regional Studies, which published 6 issues a year. I'm pleased to say now that we have a portfolio of 6 journals a year. Regional Studies publishes monthly. Territory Politics Governance publishes 10 issues a year. And in 2024, our New Start journal, Finance and Space, begins publishing. So it's my absolute pleasure and privilege to be here, and I hope that you will learn a lot from the presentation of the journals by the editors and by myself. I'm now going to present to you Regional Studies, which is the first journal that the Regional Studies Association published. We started publishing it in 1966, 2 years after the Regional Studies Association was founded. So Regional Studies is the giant of the RSA Journals. It publishes monthly. It has very high levels of submissions each year, and it has very high metrics. It covers the development of theories and concepts, empirical analysis and policy debate in the field of regional studies, quite broadly defined. So the papers must make a substantive contribution to scholarly debates. They do need to be subnational, so it's regions defined as subnational regions. They need to be conceptually well informed, empirically well-grounded, and methodologically sound. The impact factor for the journal is 4.6. Its site score has risen recently to 9. It has a very impressive number of downloads each year. We were running at 686,000 downloads and views, and that dates back to around July. The total number of articles that are published in the journal each year is 174. Of those, in 2022, 54 were published open access. Next slide, please. The editor-in-chief of the journal from July of this year is Professor Jennifer Clark from Ohio State University in the US. And we have 2 newly appointed deputy editors, Ben DeRudder and John Harrison. You can see on the slide the list of editors. I won't run through them in detail because I'm going to say something about some of those editorial sections as we go through. I will just say that in common with our other journals, Regional Studies has an early career editor, and this is somebody that is within 5 years of being conferred their PhD. And it's somebody who joins the editorial team, is mentored by the senior editorial team members, either the editor-in-chief or the deputy editor-in-chief, and then grows their skill set during the 3 years of their appointment. These appointments are non-renewable. So across all of our journals, you will see these posts being advertised. Always worth keeping an eye out for those and potentially applying for those roles. Next slide, please. So the journal publishes in its main section articles that are submitted from the community in the normal way. So we would call that our reactive publishing mode, where we take what we receive, what we're given, and we have it peer reviewed, and then the editors make a decision. In addition to that, we have a strong series of special issues that come out in the journal. These are usually based on a call for abstracts, and you can see a couple of examples on the slide in front of you, along with some recent special issues. We will accept special issue proposals from the community. There's a form on the RSA website and also on the Taylor and Francis portal. There is advice there on what to give us when you're thinking of submitting a special issue. The decision on special issues is taken by the editorial team. Next slide, please. So what are the journal sections? We have the main section, we have the special issues, we also have the urban and regional horizons section. This is at the moment edited by John Harrison from Loughborough University, who doubles up as a deputy editor. And this section publishes agenda setting papers that try and reflect the new thinking and novel approaches that are being developed in the field all the time. These papers normally reflect on past theoretical and empirical research, but will really identify with what's coming through for the future. The papers are expected to be ambitious and also to challenge and be critical thinking, also to be written in a way that is accessible to a broader audience. Next slide, please. A very popular section in the journal is the policy debates section. This is edited by Philip Tomlinson from the University of Bath. Now, this section is an interdisciplinary forum where analysis of policy and practice issues across regional, local and urban development takes place. It's meant to connect both the policy and the researcher community by exploring the interface between these two sectors. Quite often these papers can be co-published or can be the result of research programs where policy has been at the heart of the research. The editor is happy to give advice on how to frame these papers before submission to the journal. They go out for refereeing in the normal way, the same as all the other submissions to regional studies. Another section within the journal is book reviews, and this section is edited by Laura Polverari from the University of Padua in Italy. If you've recently published a book, you might want to ask your publisher to send the book to the journal. We accept books both in print but also e-copies of books if that's easier for you. It's certainly easier for us to forward on books to potential referees and reviewers.